This summer, Instacart presents famous summer flavors coming to your front door. Or pool. Or hotel.
Your grocery delivery has arrived, sir.
That was faster than room service.
No violins in the lobby.
Oh, seriously? Anyway, sit back, relax, and get delivery in as fast as 30 minutes. Starring your favorite snacks, drinks, and more. Download Instacart for free delivery on your first 3 orders. Rated H for hungry audiences. Offer valid for a limited time. Minimum $10 per order. Excludes restaurants. Additional terms and fees apply.
We acknowledge the traditional owners of country throughout Australia and recognise their continuing connection to land, waters and culture. We pay our respects to their elders past, present and emerging. Welcome to This Song Is Yours, a music podcast where we chat to a new guest each week, talk about their life and creative endeavours, and talk to them about some of the music they love. Our show works by chatting to our guests about music, but also getting them to make you a playlist of the songs they love. You can find the link to our playlist in the show notes. Welcome to episode 87. I'm your host, Simon Fink. Our guest today is Lady Blackbird. The LA-based jazz vocalist has recently released her debut record, entitled Black Acid Soul. In today's episode, we're talking with Lady Blackbird about the new record, her start in Christian music, and working with artists like Trombone Shorty. Here we go. Our guest today is an incredible jazz singer based in Los Angeles. Originally getting her start in Christian and rock music, she's now released one of this year's best jazz records, entitled Black Acid Soul. Please welcome to This Song Is Yours, Marley Monroe, aka Lady Blackbird. Hello, how are we?
Hello, I'm well. How are you?
I'm very well, thank you. I'm very well. Thank you for joining us today.
Thanks for having me.
Of course. Now, firstly, I guess, where are you joining us from?
I'm here in Los Angeles, where it's very hot at the moment.
There's a little bit of a heat wave in LA at the moment, isn't there?
Yeah, just a bit. Where are you? You're in...
We're in Australia.
You're in Australia, that's fine.
Yes.
What's
yeah,
the weather like there?
We're just coming into spring, so it's like a little cold. It's right at the start of spring. It's a little cold, but it's nice. A bit more sunshine than we've seen in the last few months.
Well, I'm a rain girl myself. If it was grey all the time and rain, that'd be fine.
I am with you on that 100%. Winter
really?
is...
I don't need a whole lot of people that are.
Look, summer's great, everything else, but I think, as you said, like grey skies, it's good for like fireplaces, red wine, some good records, all that kind of stuff.
I poured me a little wine to sit here and chat to you, even though it's really hot outside.
I'm very, very jealous. It's quite early in the morning here, so it might be a bit too early for me to join you with that, but I can definitely...
Yeah, don't do it. 9 a.m. wine drinking never ends well.
The interview could go a very different way if I end up taking that up. Congratulations on the record Black Acid Soul. It is out now, and it's a gorgeous record. Congratulations.
Thank you. Yeah, it's been a long time coming. It was like such a relief, to finally have it out there and released. So I'm glad you enjoyed it.
Of course. How long? I think I was trying to work it out before. How long has it been in the works for this record to be coming out?
Losing a whole year, I've completely lost track of, we forget 2020 existed. We finished the album. Yeah, we finished the album at the end of 2019. Yeah, I think the end of 2019. Because we had just started playing shows. We had just started playing shows around here. I had played the Troubadour first, a couple of other gigs, and then nothing. So, we were just hanging for that year. So
yeah.
It's been completed for a minute.
I can imagine it's not easy, especially when and we'll get to this in a little bit in terms of your career and like the changes that it's taken. But I can imagine that you've finally kind of got this album as I mentioned, it is a gorgeous album, and then have to sit on it for 18 months or so, I can imagine is a myriad of emotions.
That was tough. It was tough, you know. It's disappointing, but everybody was in the same boat too. So it's like, okay, well, you know, what do we do? And we released, you know, the singles, did a lot of different remixes, you know, to try to really kind of carry us through. But, you know, all in due time, you know. So it worked itself out.
It did. It's out now, and it is a stunning record. I have to, the first thing I have to address, which I feel like most people would do, is your voice. The voice. It's an incredible voice.
Thank you.
Of course. It. I guess going right back to the start, when did you realize that you could sing and had this powerhouse of a vocal that you have?
That was all my mother. She used to follow me around with a tape recorder. No, that was all her. She picked up on that one early, because I don't ever remember not singing. It's you know, you think of your childhood and things that you do remember. Mine always involved singing. So, I really think I was born doing that one. She picked up on it and really just started nurturing that and supporting that, and, you know, building that. So I've been doing it for, I won't tell you how old I am, I've been doing it for a while.
Because if I've done my research correctly, which hopefully I have, neither of your parents were musical. They were, mum a hairdresser and dad worked at a helicopter refueler.
Yeah, they've done different things, and you know, and they can sing. They can sing, but yeah, I mean, that's not what they do. Yeah. Right.
Okay. So I might be wrong in saying that they were not musical. They were musical.
They were musical, but yeah, they weren't like music.
No, that's very fair. That's very fair. With, I guess, the upbringing that you had with them and music being around the house, and when was it that you went from having your mum following you around singing to being like, this is something that I want to do as a career or as like as my life?
That was early on. It was just, you know, the thing I loved doing the most, and being in a smaller town, you know, there's not a whole lot of opportunity. So, you know, you grow up singing in the church and county fairs and, you know, whatever little functions around town that you can. And yeah, I loved it so much. That's where I was always my happiest. And so I just kind of always knew that that's the direction, you know, that I was going to follow. To see it through. Yeah, I've been working on it for a while. Signed to a Christian label when I was about 12, 13 years old. And then, you know, you grow up and you realize that certain things aren't for you. You start developing your own ideas and thoughts and beliefs. And yeah, so I walked away from that world and started working out here in LA, just trying to figure out, you know, who I was, what I wanted, you know, to be.
Do you remember the moment? Because they're very, I imagine they're very different worlds, like Christian music and then the myriad of kind of different genres that you've played around with and worked with now. Do you remember that moment of being like, oh, this isn't my jam, this isn't for me?
Yeah, probably I would say I was about...
Millions of people have lost weight with personalized plans from Noom. Like Evan, who can't stand salads and still lost 50 pounds.
Salads generally for most people are the easy button, right? For me, that wasn't an option. I never really was a salad guy. That's just not who I am. But Noom worked for me.
Get your personalized plan today at Noom.com. Real Noom user compensated to provide their story. In 4 weeks, the typical Noom user can expect to lose 1 to 2 pounds per week. Individual results may vary.
This season, Instacart has your back to school. As in, they've got your back to school lunch favorites like snack packs and fresh fruit. And they've got your back to school supplies like backpacks, binders, and pencils. And they've got your back when your kid casually tells you they have a huge school project due tomorrow. Let's face it, we were all that kid. So first, call your parents to say I'm sorry, and then download the Instacart app to get delivery in as fast as 30 minutes all school year long. Get a $0 delivery fee with your first 3 orders while supplies last. Minimum $10 an order. Additional terms apply.
I guess I really started asking questions of feeling that uncomfortable, or maybe I always was, but recognizing, the uncomfortable about 13, 14 years old.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think, signing to the Christian label and just kind of realizing everything that it was about and it entailed. And, you have to believe in something if you're going to do it. So if I couldn't say that I did, then you can't stand by it. You gotta, you want people to believe what you're saying, so you actually have to as well.
Which I can very much respect. I can very much understand that. I feel like that comes across in this new album. While I was listening to it the last few days, it's not like a big brash album. It is very subdued. It's a very warm kind of record, but there is still a fierceness to the songs and to your vocals, especially when you are kind of constructing these songs and writing these songs. What's your method in finding that balance where it's these gorgeous kind of ballads, but there's still a real raw emotion to them?
Yeah, well, the way this whole album started was just taking everything away and starting with my vocal and building everything around that. We went through so many songs to try to figure out and weed out, which are the best. What do I feel like I can, really make my mark and put my spin on and, interpretation. But I have done so many different genres, and I just love music, all different kinds. And so having done different styles, I do feel like this album finally kind of just summed up everything that I have been about, that I am about, that I love. And this project, I think, feels like it really fused, those together, which is actually how Black Acid Soul started. Black Acid Soul was when me and Chris Seafried, my producer, and we had messed around with all sorts of different feels, and songs, just looking and trying to find that right sound. And so we were always doing some sort of fusion type, sound. And he started hashtagging it Black Acid Soul. I was like, that's really fucking cool. So that's what it was. That's where it started. And now the title of the album.
It is a gorgeous album, and I guess I'm more as a fan of yourself, the album, but also where the album was recorded, because I feel that there was a bit of you said that you've been trying out different things and working on your craft and your career for a while. There was a bit of a pinch me moment when you were recording at Sunset Sound in LA.
Recording there and just seeing it all finally come together, it being there and the history and the people that have recorded there and Prince and now you're finally, for your own, and the band, this incredible magical band that played with me, and the whole experience really was different because I had never recorded like that live before. So even the recording experience was different for me. Beautiful in every way. You just watch it unfold and the people involved. Very, very thankful for it.
It is. It sounds like some of the, not just the room and yourself, some of the band that you had behind you was incredible as well. I think Trombone Shorty is on the record as well.
Trombone is on featured on Nobody's Sweetheart. I'm actually playing trombone and me, we've never met. He played on my album. I wrote a song for his upcoming, and I finally get a chance to meet him. I'm playing with him, opening for him at the Celebrate Brooklyn Festival on the 18th. On the 18th of September. So, yeah, we'll finally go back. And he just brought and he just elevated that song for me to a whole other level. Nobody's Sweetheart with his piece. That's amazing.
It's a gorgeous, gorgeous solo. How did the collaboration kind of happen? Because as you said, you've never met. So how did that come about?
That came from Chris. Yeah, that came from Chris. My producer, also produces for him.
Oh, so, lovely.
Yeah, he's made some killer connections.
Who's the other person on the album? I might be mispronouncing his name. Deron Johnson.
Deron Johnson. He's also played with Miles Davis, and these fellas are incredible. Yeah.
I feel like, you're not mucking about when you're building these when you're building these bands behind you.
They don't play. Yeah. Love being out there with all of them.
With things how they are at the moment in the US, I know that you just mentioned the festival. Are you looking forward to taking this record out on the road and to be able to play some shows behind it?
Oh, so looking forward. We just got back. I played a couple of festivals and I played the 100 Club in London. And so that night, at the 100 Club, just being back in the club and on the stage was just like mind-blowing. It felt so good. I hadn't seen that side of the stage for, it's been like a year and a half.
Yeah, I imagine it would be somewhat emotional almost.
Yeah. There was a moment I thought, okay, you can go all the way into this and then they're just going to have to watch you cry for a second, and I don't cry pretty. So just hold it back and then go relive it later. It really was, it was so nice being back up there and finally getting to perform these songs.
Yeah, of course. I can, the record, as I mentioned, it does have like a very warm feel to it. I can imagine that it is a perfect kind of like club record, and the songs do suit that environment very well. So I'm glad that it wasn't, an hour and a half of crying and doing all of that.
And then I don't think I have time to sing like a song and a half.
Exactly.
Yeah, so no, I'm excited for these shows. I play the Ford with Vintage Trouble on September the 16th here in Los Angeles, and then off to New York for the Celebrate Brooklyn Festival, and another date at Bar Luna Chico on the 21st. So, yeah, finally getting back in the game.
Very exciting, very exciting. Marley, usually we would ask our guests what they're currently listening to. Is there a record or an album, even song that you're currently enjoying or is getting a strong workout on your record player? I
always go back because, I've been asked what's gotten you through COVID or, all of that. It was Brittany Howard, Jamie. I think she is brilliant.
That
brilliant.
Record,
from the
yes.
Alabama Cake days to now seeing her yeah, she's something else right there. She's fierce.
I feel like her work with Alabama Shakes was one thing was incredible on its own, but then that solo record was just otherworldly.
Yeah.
Would there be any chance or any desire to possibly collaborate with her at some stage?
Oh my God, I'd love it. Somebody tell me.
We'll try and get this podcast to her and work its way. Yeah, I'll get my people to reach out, see what I can do. Marley, thank you very much for your time today. I do appreciate it. And congratulations again on the record.
Thank you.
And that's our show. A massive thank you to Lady Blackbird for her time. Black Acid Soul is out now, and we've left links in the show notes if you'd like to buy or stream the record. We also want to give a huge shout out to Shari at Great Company Collective for helping out with today's interview. You can find a link to our Spotify playlist in the show notes, where you'll be able to listen to all of our guests' picks. If you like this show, please subscribe wherever you get your pods and stay up to date when new episodes are released. We release new shows each Thursday and Friday morning, with guest playlists streaming on Spotify at the same time. You can follow the playlist profile on Spotify, and you can follow us on Instagram, Facebook, and TikTok. Until next week, cheers.